Am I the asshole for kicking a couple out of my room and being called homophobic? My friend group me, 26M, my girlfriend, 25F, and friends Jay, 25M, Eva, 26F, Liam, 25M, and Frank, 26M, has a tradition of renting a cabin every summer-winter. The cabin has a master bedroom, double bed, a twin room, 2 single beds, a loft, 2 single beds, and a pull-out couch in the living room. My girlfriend and I have always paid extra to use the master exclusively. Everyone else shares the remaining beds, and Eva usually takes the couch since she snores and doesn't want a room with a guy. This year, Frank asked if his boyfriend Ed, 28M, could come with us. None of us hadn't met him, but Frank said he'd cover meals to make up for the cost. Ed seemed nice at first and paid for dinner the first night, which was cool. Problems started when we got to the cabin. Ed said he and Frank wanted to take the master bedroom. I told him, maybe a little harshly, that my girlfriend and I usually use it since we pay extra. Ed said he didn't get what the big deal was and that we could sleep in one of the single beds or the couch. These single beds are small and could not comfortably fit 2 people, plus Eva would have to share a room with one of the guys, and she didn't want to. Ed said that my GF and Eva could share the couch, and I could room with one of the other guys. I didn't want to room with a guy when my GF and I have been together a lot longer, and there's no reason for me to room with someone else in favor of a couple who's been together less than a year. Jay and Liam tried to help, like giving Ed and Frank the couch so they could sleep side by side, but Ed said he didn't feel comfortable in open spaces and insisted on the master. Ed and I argued more, and he called me homophobic, saying I didn't support his and Frank's relationship by not letting them share a room. I was about to shout when my girlfriend shut me up and told Ed we'd take the couch. We didn't see them much the rest of the trip. I mostly hung out with my GF and Eva on hikes. Ed and Frank used the master and left a few days early. My GF Jay, Liam, Eva, and I have been talking about what happened. Jay supports me, but Eva and Liam said I made a huge deal out of nothing and that letting them have the master for a week wasn't a big deal. Even my GF says I took things too far by keeping everyone up. I'm still pissed about being kicked out of the room, but I think I might be asshole because it was late and everyone wanted to sleep, but I kept dragging out the argument, and I didn't welcome Ed after he argued with me. Am I the asshole? Update. I had some people ask, so I wanted to update. Thanks to everyone who commented. I realized I need a bit of distance from this group for not having my back. On the money issue, I spent some time trying to work out the cost breakdown since many people asked about the numbers. All prices have been converted to USD. The total cost for the 7-night cabin stay was $1,744. My girlfriend and I covered half of that, 3.5 nights, and the other half was split between Frank, Liam, and Jay. Eva paid for gas. She drives a van for work, so she drove us all up, which came to $190. Ed paid for 3 meals and snacks, which came to $230, $157 for the first meal, and $73 for snacks and 2 fast food runs. What everyone paid, me, $436, girlfriend, $436, Frank, $290.67, Liam, $290.67, Jay, $290.67, Eva, $199, Ed, $230. So Ed covered almost the cost of 1 night, but it was significantly less than my girlfriend and I paid for the master. The 6 of us have been going to the same cabin for 5 years, and before my GF and I got together, she and Eva used the master. The others are more than welcome to use the master if they pay what my GF and I do, which I see now might not be super fair to them since we're the only couple in the group, so that we can afford it more easily. Like many said to do, I texted Frank and asked him to pay me and my girlfriend for 1 night's stay on the trip. $290. It might have been a little under, but I didn't want to argue anymore, and my GF told me to sort this out and drop the issue. Frank paid me a few days later and asked if we could meet so he could explain what happened at our local bar. I was to see Ed there when my GF and I arrived. It took some time for the conversation to start, but Ed eventually told us his relationship with his parents has been rocky due to his sexuality. A few months before the cabin trip, he brought Frank home to meet them for the first time, and his parents made them sleep in separate rooms. Ed said his folks implied that he and Frank would be kicked out if they didn't. He said that when I refused to let them use the master bedroom, it brought up those bad feelings, and he misdirected his anger at me. I don't totally buy that explanation, not the full extent of it, but I can understand how not being allowed to share a bed might bring up bad memories for him. For Frank's sake, I agreed to let it go and told them I appreciated the apology, but I still need space. I'm not ready to pick up where we left off. My friends usually talk about taking another trip in November at this time, but I think I'll find somewhere closer to go with my girlfriend so I don't have to deal with this group drama again. I'm still not entirely over her not having my back either, so nothing's in the works right now. Thanks again.